Hello, everyone. My name is Dan, and I'm together with Jamie and Bernard. Today, we're going to talk about bullying and our experiences with it. Also, a quick note, we have our Patreon. There's more details in the description below. And if you find it entertaining, don't forget to like and comment, please. So, Jamie,
Hello.
what is your experience with bullying?
Mm, bullying. You know, in during primary school, I was apparently a bully and I didn't know about it. In our last episode, I talked about how like I was very physical with the other kids. We were just playing. Uh, but one day I was actually sent to detention because I was apparently a bully. Uh,
Whoa.
but I didn't realize. And then because they thought I was a bully, I thought it was very unfair. And then for the rest of the semester, I started to bully that kid because he reported me. But it was
You were not a bully, but then when you got reported as a bully, you,
yeah,
you decided might as well play along.
yeah, yeah. But it's nothing serious though. Like it was a it
Well,
was
I mean, for you, it's nothing serious.
no, I just push him every now and then. It was fun. Like we wrestle. But yeah, he. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, he's come
Uh,
to he's come to like the physical activities we've shared.
Actually, before we started to record, I was telling everyone that I think I was not really bullied, but now I remember there was this instance when I kind of somebody almost began to bully me, but I don't remember how it ended. But they didn't continue. But basically, at one point, for some reason, I need
Hmm.
to try to remember this, but there was this group of kids that were in my class, and for some reason, I don't remember why. I thought that I owed them like 1 year or something like that. Well, back in that time, it was big money for especially for a child.
Hmm.
Uh, and they kept asking me for it and stuff, and basically kind of trying to extort money from me. But I don't remember what happened that made me. I mean, that made them stop. But I think that like this was my one of the first times I was bullied.
Wait, you were already
Huh.
using euros back then?
No, it was Lat, the
Oh
previous
wow.
currency of Latvia. I just decided that. Well, they were pretty much the same, uh, like exchange wise. So for ease of understanding, I just said euros.
Hmm.
Maybe you did something to
I used
frighten them.
to. I remember I used to get a daily spendthrift of like $3 Singapore dollars or something like that.
Was that a
And I
lot?
would save. No, not really. It was enough to get food and like drinks, but I would skip on the drinks and I'll just drink like tap water instead. And then I save up my money and buy my dad like an engraved Zippo lighter.
Oh,
And then
how
he
sweet.
lost it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you were such a
So
sweet
my dad
child.
bullied me.
Oh my goodness. What was what kind of, what kind of circumstance would lead to bullying for you guys in your school? Like is it all the same around the world? Like is it that if you stood out in any way, if you were like, if you have some kind of mental disability or if you're just not good at sports, we tend to get bullied for those reasons. Was it the same for you guys?
I think
um,
pretty much, kind of, yeah.
in my experience, it was because I was different from the others. And also, I was skinny and kind of a loner as well. So I
Okay.
was like an easy target, you know?
I don't remember how you looked like when you were a kid, but if I recall, you didn't look that white. Like you look like a mix, so that even then, like I would have thought that it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's really not. But kids are brutal.
Mm.
So like even the smallest minute difference makes you different.
Yeah.
That's so
Hmm.
strange because we had a mixed child in the class, and he was the one bullying people because he was so popular.
Yeah, no.
The
Um,
bastard.
So I'm guessing the problem is you. Okay.
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I was just too skinny and too much of a loner, I guess.
It was skinny something that was that people made fun of because in back in my day or even now, like it's good to be skinny.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't the skinniness. It was more the foreigner part because they would call me Ang Mo, which is basically redhead, the slang for Singaporean slang for redhead, like foreigner.
But you're not redheaded.
Yeah, but that's just
Redhead.
the slang. Ang Mo is it just means redhead.
Why redhead? Is it because white people get sunburned?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Actually, this is something that really interested me because back in the 1600s, Taiwan was still mostly occupied by the Dutch East India Company. So the Dutch and the Spanish set up shop in Taiwan, and then they would invite Chinese people from the Qing dynasty to come over and trade. And back then there were a lot of warfares, right? And so the Aboriginals in Taiwan, and we started to have the same exact phrase that Benny just used. I think you said angmo. It's something. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's red hair. Like literally, the two words is red hair, and we use those to describe the Dutch. And to this day, I still don't know why. I asked a bunch of Dutch people that back in the 1600s. Even then, there weren't that many gingers in among the Dutch, and the Dutch East India Company was very diverse as well. Like sometimes you would have Germans on board and Belgic people on board, and I still don't know why. Like we used to refer to the Dutch people as red hair as well.
Could it be because of the blonde hair?
Hmm. But
And there was maybe is there even a word for blonde in Hokkien
there
or
is,
Taiwanese?
there is. Yeah, there's jin, which literally is gold, which is something. Yeah, I don't understand why
Yeah, but
they.
if you're gonna insult somebody, you don't want to use the term gold, right?
But
You
even
gold-haired bastard.
Yeah, it's like saying, "God
Your
damn it, you beautiful
l-
bastard! I
l-
hate you."
luscious lips. And then you proceed to make out.
oh man. But red hair is red isn't particularly insulting as well. Red is a good a color of good luck.
Oh,
Well,
I got a
actually,
theory.
go
Hmm?
ahead, Bernard.
Yeah, then you tell your revelation first.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I was just going to say that I think redheads were also somewhat, you could say, bullied when even among Europeans, isn't it? In it.
Yeah, the gingers, they all got no souls.
Yeah, in that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Stuff like that.
Where did that start? Like, did that really start from South Park, or is it something that existed before South Park?
I don't think
I
so.
have
No, it
no
wasn't.
idea.
That wasn't there like if a woman was a redhead, it was the chance of people thinking that she was a witch was higher, something like that.
I have no idea. But
That would be
I
insane.
was thinking maybe one of the reasons why they call the foreigners redhead would be because they were so brutal and so murderous that they kept getting blood on their hair, and then start calling them redheads.
Whoa.
Oh,
Maybe, I don't
oh,
know, but that was just
that
a thought that entered my mind.
that's a good hypothesis. It's kind of dark. Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think it's somehow related to just how they perceive their skin and hair. Maybe because when there's a lot of sun, I imagine people would get sunburned, and also your hair gets bleached. And I feel like maybe that's why. You know how rednecks
yeah.
called rednecks because they work in the field, bent over, and they get their neck sunburned. And this way, like that's what I heard. That's where the term redneck comes from.
Well, you're quite right about the you're quite right about in the Middle Ages that people used the used to think that people with red head are witches. I think that's where the soulless thing comes from.
Hmm.
Wait, really? I didn't know it goes.
Yeah, my secretary just looked it up.
Your sec. Oh, okay. We're flexing
What?
now. Your secretary. Ah,
Oh.
fine, but there we go. Okay. Wait. So I don't know. I always felt like the whole making fun of gingers was because of South Park and South Park alone. It was that cartoon that messed everything up.
I don't
Well,
think so.
I never knew about it. Okay, so yeah, I was right. The term redhead it was due to the Dutch East India Company being present, and Ang Mo, which means redhead, is definitely referencing the Dutch presence. And I think it came along the lines of what I mentioned because they are called red-haired devils, right?
Mhm.
But why exactly were they called the red-haired devils? It's unknown.
Still unknown.
Yeah, but they are considered red-haired devils, and maybe it's because of the way the hair color is reflected in the sun. Maybe.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
Anyways, I think we tangent too much about this its etymology.
I think it still is some. It's like just ethical bullying, isn't it?
Yeah, well, true.
Fuck. How do you say that word again? Ethnicity.
ethnic
Ethnicity.
Ethnic.
bullying.
Just say ethnic, I
Yeah,
guess.
ethnic bullying. There we go. Just one whole bullying.
That's interesting.
One whole big
Were
bullying
you the only foreign slash mixed kid in the class?
in the school.
What?
I mean, white boy messing. I mean, like white boy.
Good boy.
In terms of white boyness. Actually, that's not true. There was another white boy too. He
Why?
was even more German than I was.
Oh my goodness! Why didn't you seek him out, form an alliance?
No, because I don't particularly remember, but I think he was just an annoying bastard as well.
Because he's a redhead. That's why
Exactly.
Werner
You
didn't deal with him.
redheads are all the same. That is insane because all the foreign kids in our school tend to just become very popular kids because I don't
Yeah,
know
that's what.
why.
Do you remember? Okay, that's what the my good Chinese friend also said to me, Mr. A. That's
Okay.
what Mr. A, the Chinese friend, that's what he said to me. Like he said it was crazy that I got bullied for it because if I was in China, I
Hmm.
would have been super popular.
Yeah. People we love the fact that there were kids from other parts of the world, and then uh speaking of, yes, I think in high school I was bullied by one of your kinds.
One of
What?
your
One of
kind.
my
Sounds.
kind.
And it wasn't like it was so weird. It was not fully bullying as well. It was because he was kind of he was popular but a loner, which
Jimmy's
is
like, commit, damn it.
exactly. It was weird because he came off like
I
people
want
liked
you to
it.
bully me. Why aren't you bullying me?
No, but like he was like a very popular kid, and then he was
Yeah.
physically bigger than all of us. Like for some reason, he's just very tall.
Combined.
Yeah, yeah. uh,
Sorry.
but he was kind of a loner, and He smoked a lot of cigarettes, even back in high school. And during we have a thing called nighttime studies. It's when you voluntarily stay after school and you continue to study until like 9 a.m. And I used to
It's
do
like
that.
9 a.m. I thought you were gonna say
Oh,
p.m.
sorry, 9 p.m. Yes, 9 p.m. We
Okay, okay. I was like, holy shit! Until the next day.
they weren't
Damn,
kidding
that's some
about night
hardcore.
studies.
but you could choose to. And let me think. Yeah, he would stay for excuse me. He would stay for nighttime studies, and then and he would just make fun of me in class. And then he would he would just ask me to go with him to the convenience store, because in between breaks, students, we would, go to the convenience store to get stuff, and he would always buy me drinks. So
So
it
he's
was,
buying you drink. So he's making fun of you and then apologizing by buying you drinks after.
yeah, I mean, he didn't even apologize. It was just weird. I don't know. So I felt like I was
Maybe
kind of
that's his
bullied.
way of apologizing.
But yeah, I always got
It's
free
like, oh,
drinks
I
from him.
got you something, so that means we're cool now.
So I can
Basically,
continue
yeah.
bullying you.
It did continue
Payment
for
for
like 2
bullying.
years.
It's payment for bullying.
hmm
Oh well. Besides from school, were you guys cyber bullied?
Hmm.
Being bullied online? That's never happened to me.
I don't think I was.
Do you guys get any have any of you gotten into like a long argument with someone like online, akin to like these Twitter battles, but except back in our day it was like forums, or even on Facebook you would just start, in the comment section you argue with people.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? I was smart enough to know to not feed the trolls. I used to browse 4chan,
Oh my god.
and you learn
I
straight
feel
away, like,
insulted.
don't feed the troll.
Explain 4chan to the viewers.
Like I'm 5.
Okay, so 4chan is an online message board.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
it.
One moment, real quick. Yeah, but
It's
it
kind
says
of like
what
Reddit, right?
Angmo Hio means, which is red-haired man's, because Angmo is red-haired.
I
Yeah, okay, yeah. But it says Angmo is a colloquial term for a Caucasian person. But like, why do they consider a Caucasian person red-headed? Because usually Caucasians are blonde, and that's the mystery. No, you don't agree? Oh, maybe that's right. Maybe they weren't all blonde. Maybe the Dutch were brown haired, but in the sun, it looks like light brown, like almost reddish. No, isn't that why? Sorry, we still hung up on the red-headed devil part. Um. Anyway, 4chan was an online message board where there was different threads for different topics.
kind of
Hold
like
on.
Reddit.
So yeah, it's
Kind of like
Reddit.
Reddit, yes. But if there were no, or it was, if it was very unmoderated, so you have a lot of
Bullying.
fucked up shit. You remember when Live Leak was still a thing, and when the internet was like a wild place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now imagine
Nice
that.
times.
Yeah. But yeah, that was what 4chan was. I mean, to satisfy my curiosity, and because I was a hormonal horny boy, I would browse the other boards as well a little bit. But then sometimes it's still kind of fucked up what you come across. And then I decided I don't want to be reading that shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I never spent time on 4chan, but I did spend time on 9gag because of you. And I just remembered it was,
9gag.
yeah, it was one of the most homophobic places ever. It was intense. Most of the comments, whenever there's a gay meme, you would just get a bunch of people spamming in the comments like, "Why are you gay?" You know, that African guy. with the
Yeah.
eyes and everything.
I don't think that was homophobia. It was just people trying to be funny.
Could be, yeah, could be. But no, like you would see
Okay.
people in arguments like down there, and then Jesus would be brought up, and it was just, oh, it was a
Why are
lot.
you gay?
Indeed.
Why are you gay, Jamie?
I
You see,
Okay,
Bernard is having fun. Bernard is one of those that were posting those memes.
I'm a bully. I'm a cyber
I
bully.
I remember. You know what? This brings me. This brings a memory. I remember me and Bernard at one point. We would like to say, you know, that like play out that meme where the guy shouts from the back of the class like "gay,"
Oh yes, yes.
and that
Funny
that's from
thing, funny
Community.
thing. There was
That's
a kind of like a similar story. I was in officer school, and I remember one guy was doing a presentation, and the class teacher, right? The class teacher, the guy who we're supposed to respect and who's supposed to teach us, while the dude was giving his presentation about leadership and stuff, the class teacher from the back of the class shouted, "Boring!"
wait, in what language?
in German. So he
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
"Langweilig," and we were all like, "What the fuck?" No, that guy had no, like, I had no respect for that guy at all, man. But anyway, yeah, when you mentioned the gay at the back of the class, it reminded me of that. Um,
Did
Yeah, but
okay,
I
so
remember
one.
Jamie told us when he came out, he told us, "Can you stop doing that? That's actually I don't remember what you said, like offensive or something like that."
Oh
I don't
no,
remember that.
back in those days, it was when people just called everything gay for no reason. Do you remember? Like, if something was lame, you would just be like, "Oh no, that's gay, bro." Like something like that. And it gets and then
I I
the
Should I
honestly don't
feel bad
remember
for
that.
laughing?
no, the two of you were just
Yes, you
using
should.
because the two of you were
Shit.
using that word all the time. I was so annoyed. Like everything was gay with you guys, and I was just so mad. I was like, "Oh, stop."
Man, that's
I feel
gay of you
bad,
to be
like
so mad,
Jamie is
bro.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Jamie sharing this sensitive thing for with us, and
And we're
and we're
laughing about
laughing.
it.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh no,
Jamie.
we are the bullies, bro. We are the bullies.
We are the bullies.
That's the
Jamie,
point.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry we were bullying you. It
Sorry,
wasn't
Jeremy.
conscious.
You guys
So
gonna
I'm just gonna bring it up one more time, and then I swear I'll stop. But so the Caucasians, going back to Angmos, the term why they're considered redheads, it's because first of all, they are considered redheaded devils because they massacred like a village which was already suffering from famine. They
Oh,
just Yes. Because they arrived, they were just like treating them so bad and like basically making them like slaves, which is what the website said. That they suffered from famine and like at least like 5,000 people died. So that's
mhm.
the devil part. And then the red 14,000 out of 15,000, sorry. And then the red-headed part was because they had different shades of brown and blonde hair, and I'm assuming like if they're standing under the sun, some of them looks kind of red. Is that how I
Yeah, yeah,
understood it?
I feel like we just have this fascination with redheads this episode. What is happening?
we do. I think it's going to transfer as a meme to the next episode.
Ah. Yeah, sorry, hold on. So back then in the Southeast Asia, black hair color was the predominant color, and apparently they don't have a lot of different words for different colors.
Mm,
So everything that was not that color was just like considered red, right? More or less, kind of. So that's where it came from.
yeah,
Well, then
yeah.
that's confusing.
Yeah.
I imagine like if somebody committed a crime and you saw that person committed a crime, it was a Dutchman, and you went to the local constable, you're like, "Oh, that guy with the red hair." And then he points to a,
And
a crowd of varying
it's just a
kinds of hair
blonde
color.
guy.
Which red?
And then they're like, shit, we should come up with more color names.
Yeah.
And now you got things like Menteja. This is rosé. This is ultraviolet.
Actually, it made me think about, there's a theory why we have a legend about fire-breathing dragons. Is because at some point, in some language, the word for poisonous was similar to fire or something like that, and
Mhm.
somebody mistranslated that there was this basically, a reptile that was poisonous, and instead it became fire breathing,
Mhm.
and that's how the legend about dragons started.
Okay, I must 100% be a bully because when you said that, I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, what if it was just a guy who's so ugly he looks like a lizard and his breath stinks so much that it could be poisonous?
No, but it's interesting because I'm guessing that the example Dan just mentioned, that is that Celtic or is that Greek? So where
Oh,
does
I
that come
don't
from?
know. I have no idea about that. Sorry.
Because I feel like the Chinese have like a
I feel like it
complete
could be
different.
Celtic
Yeah.
because there was a in the north of England. There's the legend of the lindworm, which is supposed to be like a dragon kind of thingy.
Lindworm doesn't
Yeah.
sound very intimidating.
Not for a modern man with firearms. But imagine if you were a peasant and all you have is a pitchfork.
True.
Suddenly the stakes are different. Oh, do you see what I did there? A steak,
Okay,
a
we get
rake.
it. Oh my god.
Okay, okay.
We should get
Right.
back to
So,
bullying.
Starts bullying now.
Need to bully Benny.
right, right, right. We were talking about 4chan. We were talking about
What
online bullying.
was there any bullying happening
Did you,
at our university?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I bullied the heck out of the Japanese guy.
oh,
Oh, but that
yeah.
Oh,
was
I don't think you guys were there, but yeah, there's Mr. M. I was such
Hmm.
an asshole, man. Fuck, I'm such an asshole. I'm the problem. Oh my god.
do you see like this is the podcast where we realize that all three of us have been bullies all along.
Actually, our dear listeners, I'm sorry, our dear listener, uh, we came up with this episode to have an intervention with Bernard. Bernard, your bullying must stop. I'm so
I'm
glad that you
sorry.
came to the conclusion yourself.
I'm sorry.
So confess your crimes. What did you do? I always thought you guys were friends.
We were after.
Bernard forced
we
him into
started
his friendship.
we I started out like bullying the heck out of him. I do really feel bad. I was confronted about it already by my roommate. He called me out for it. He called me an asshole. And back then I was too blind to see it, but I know I'm wrong now. Doesn't make it any better, doesn't take it away. But I remember everything, man. Everything. I
Guys,
would say,
start
oh,
confessing your
watch
crime. Like,
out. No, do you really want to hear it? Because it's gonna make me sound really bad.
go ahead, go
You're
ahead.
gonna think I'm a horrible person.
I already think that. Just go ahead. No, no, but really, we want to know. We want to know because I thought you were very nice to him.
After, I
Okay.
guess, like as an apology. Okay, so I'm not proud of this. Um, but I saw the South Park episode about how the. Okay, first of all, I know the background knowledge that a lot of Japanese people kill themselves a lot. Do you see where
No.
this is going?
But there's so
Yes.
many South Park episodes about it. I would have thought you would go with the episode about the dolphins.
Well, you see, I think it started off with like the shitty walk, shitty sushi episode. And then we started laughing a little bit, me and my two Balkan friends. And then I made it worse because I start going, hey, hold on, we shouldn't make too much jokes, or if not, he's gonna go kill himself. And it's so stupid right now when I think about it. But like I would always say like, whoa, you better not make a mistake or he's gonna go kill himself. And then I remember one of them was like, what the fuck? I can't believe you just said that. But the other guy found it funny and kept laughing, and I guess that was what edged me on to keep saying dumbass statements like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is perfectly fine among close friends. So
Yeah, but we weren't.
true.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, we did become closer after, but it was still not okay. I have to say, it was not okay.
What if I feel like
Such a dick.
I feel like there's a subplot that maybe Mr. M, the guy you bullied, thought you were kind of like a closeted gay guy, and then that you were kind of cute. So he allowed for all this to happen, or maybe he secretly
You think so?
kind of enjoyed it. Because I feel like if I swap places with him, right, and if you did all this to me, it wouldn't be that big of a problem. I would have thought it was
What?
kind of, yeah. I would think it's kind of hard.
Like a humiliation king?
Yeah, like talk down to me, daddy, that kind of stuff. So if he had any remote feelings for you, back when you had hair, you were very powerful.
Wow.
I like how Jamie really gently um, places down these bombs.
No, but
I
my
mean, technically, he's bullying me, isn't he?
True, he is.
Jamie, you're the problem too.
oh my god,
Maybe bullying is a part of our human nature.
Is it though? I don't think it should be.
it's why we're friends.
Mm,
No, but other
I
than
th- I think I think it all depends on how you do it, with whom you do it, and like if it's us friends fooling around, it's okay in my opinion. If everyone is fine with it,
Hmm.
but of course, if it shouldn't be, mean.
Yeah, like, hey guys, I'm having like a really bad time, and then you say, "Oh, what? Oh, you feeling sad,
Yeah.
loser?" No, that's really mean. Oh my god.
but other than
Imagine like you're having like an actual moment of weakness, and you're like trying to become support, and you just get shat on. Oh boy.
but I seriously cannot recall any other people being bullied back in university. Even the ones
I
that
don't think it. I don't think it was really a thing in uni. I
right?
think people were, besides me, who were more mature enough to know, like, okay, it's not cool.
This is not exactly bullying, but one time I finished an exam and I was really happy that it went very well. And out of these positive feelings, uh, I slapped a girl with my notebook on the butt lately,
What the fuck?
and she was really not happy with it. But it was so not typical of me, I guess. And when I did it and I saw her reaction, I was like, "Fuck, I'm sorry."
But
I
why?
almost got cancelled.
You
what
would have been canceled, bro. You would
what?
have been one of the Me Too movement victim guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember when I was a child. No, even when I was a teenager in my school. For some reason, there was this period where everyone did that, and I mean even girls to boys. It was like a sign of attention. Uh, and so I guess this is where it's growing from. I'm really not sure what I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking, let's put
Wait,
it that way.
wait, but you never did that to either of us. So does that mean we were undeserving of your attention?
Exactly, Jamie.
Ouch.
You see through me so well. No,
Yeah, it's so painful.
what that means is, as I said, this was so. It was something that happened when I was a teenager, and so in the uni, I don't think I ever did that to
Well,
anyone, and it's just a random thing
but what
that I'm
subject
not sure
was
what I
it
did.
that made you so excited?
I don't remember actually. I really don't remember. I
I mean,
think
you said you did well in the test, or at least you think you did well.
Maybe
yeah.
it's
So
accounting or something.
the choice should narrow down a lot,
Uh,
but I don't remember.
yeah, but now that
So
I
that's
think,
I guess you could say that somewhat bullying, is it?
I think bullying is when it becomes repetitive.
yeah, I think what you
You
did was
you
just
you had
sexual
a you
harassment.
had a you had a asshole moment. Is it even?
Fine, I
Hold
guess.
on. You had a moment of meanness. You had a
I d-
mean
I wa-
flair,
I mean, it's not mean. It wasn't done out of anger or
malice.
something like that.
Uh,
Uh, I guess it's a moment of what? It's a moment of sexism and what else?
A moment of your
What
true
would
douchiness.
what
colors.
what would you call it? Yeah, douchiness, I guess.
Douchiness, yeah.
I love that you guys are coming up with terms to explain that when it really was just you were just being yourself for a moment. I don't think
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
think there
that's
was
not
I don't think Dan
but it's
had
not
any
okay
malice
though.
though. Like, yeah, I know, but I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
there was
it's not
any
it's not out of malice, but it wasn't okay.
mm,
Because we don't know what they had experienced in the past, right? Because
Oh
it
yes,
maybe
so
they
true.
had a
And
bad experience. Yeah.
I didn't
So
even
even
think about
though,
it in such a way. That makes me feel even worse.
oh, bro, trust me. Like I recently, not too long ago, I did something like not out of malice or anything. Like it was just for me, it wasn't a big deal. But because the person have experienced a bad experience from it before, which of the similar vibe,
Hmm.
and they told me like, hey, you shouldn't do that. It's not cool. And then I realized like, oh shit, it really is not cool because people with bad intentions like would have done the same but for nefarious reasons, right? And I was
Hmm.
like, oh fuck, no.
I'm going to
So
get
so that's
cancelled.
when no, it's not that, but
Mm.
it's more like we don't know what other people been through. You know what I mean?
True, true, true.
So something which is really like, it's nothing for us. It's a whole different world for them, you know.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been a sensitive child, so I think I could count the amount of times that I have, really hurt someone. I feel like I was always very careful not to hurt people's feelings. Uh
Mm.
yeah, I don't think so. Like throughout the entirety of university, I don't think I've hurt anybody's feelings. Have I? Yeah, no,
I'm
I
trying to
haven't.
Mm.
remember.
Yeah, try to remember the time where I absolutely shit on you guys.
I mean, it doesn't have to be us in particular.
Yeah, I don't think I've done this. Besides,
I don't think so.
Well,
I was nice to everyone.
I remember my what about her moment where I walked away and felt so proud of myself.
When was
Are you
this?
going to continue? I'm not picking up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So there was a moment where I was interested in the Ukrainian Miss V.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she had a Kazakhstan friend,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Kazakhstani friend.
Yes, yes.
Uh, I think this was in third year, or was it in BBA?
It was in BBA.
Yeah. So then probably wasn't there. But like after I grew the rose and gave it to her,
Excuse me, what
Oh,
was that?
uh,
You grew a rose?
yeah, I had a rose plant in my room.
Oh.
which I grew from budding. Like I even made sketches about it,
Oh my god, that's so
and
sweet.
like she knew I liked her, and we've been on dates and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then I gave her that rose. I think like on her birthday or something.
My
And
God,
then on that same week,
how she
she
didn't
fucked a
marry you.
Russian guy.
Oh, she
She
fucked the
fucked
guy
another
that I
Russian
had a
guy.
crush on. The guy that I was always with.
Yes, that guy. And then Romanian Miss T told me about it. Like, hey, they went home together. Like I saw them enter her room,
uh,
and I was like, okay,
Mm.
whatever. And then at the end of the semester, like I don't know, like they like Kazakhstani girl asked me to go out to the shisha bar and like hang out with them because apparently Miss V wants to talk to me
about
about
what?
something.
Huh.
I don't know. I was already in pajamas. I wanted to go to sleep and everything.
Uh-huh.
And that's what made it all like more worse because I was like, all right, fuck it. One last chance, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So I went, tried to talk to her, and she was just like one word answers and shit. Like, and then she went to the toilet. I turned to Kazakhstani girl and I was like, I don't remember her name, so I'm calling her that. And I was like, hey, what the fuck? I thought you said she wanted to talk to me about something. And she was like, I don't know, I don't know. And then earlier, like while we were just hanging out, like uh, Rio Miss V, the Rio Miss V and
Mhm.
the Romanian Miss T walked past and was like, "Come join us in Milazim." And I was like, hold on, maybe later. I'm talking with them right now." And then at that time when she went to the when Ukrainian Miss V went to the toilet, I was like, "This is a waste of my time. I'm going." And I remember I stood up and then I was half turned, and then Kazakhstani girl was asking me, "But wait, what?" I mean, I left my money on the table, like my share of the shisha, because that would be rude. But she was like, "Wait, what about Ukrainian Miss V?" And I half turned, look at her, and then I just said, "What about her?" and walked away. And I was like, "Oh, cool, man. Don't look back at explosions." Like,
Explosion.
but I was walking with my chest puffed up, with my head held high. I felt like such a burden has been lifted off my shoulders. I felt
Mm.
like such a man, man.
Oh man, but
Oh,
who knew them two hooking up would break both of our hearts at the same time? It's
I
funny that
wasn't. I wasn't heartbroken, to be honest. Like I was just disappointed,
ah
and not
Yeah.
even like the oh wow, you really disappoint me kind of disappointed. It was just like, huh, damn. I thought I would be more upset, but oh well.
for me
That's
it
good.
was I was really mad at myself because I don't know why I was mad because I always knew he was he was straight, that we were just friends, but even then I felt really stupid, felt really embarrassed for some reason.
I
Mm.
think I think you were banking on the possibility that you might convince him otherwise,
Not really. I
and then
mean, I was
and then
never
you were
really.
more upset about yourself than him. I think.
It was more that because I never thought that there was a possibility because you couldn't turn me straight, so I don't think I can turn anyone gay for saying like. But I for some reason I couldn't help myself but to have feelings, and even then we were friends, and we were very close friends actually at the time.
Mhm.
We would go travel, and then but then I just felt really stupid. I don't know why, that I couldn't suppress myself, that I couldn't get rid of these you know unclean thoughts.
You know
But
what?
Mm.
hmm?
This reminds me, when I was in school, there was a girl that I liked, and I also had this sudden outburst of feeling stupid and some anger.
Mhm.
Uh, and for me, it was the fact that I just understood at some point that sure, she's friends with me, but she doesn't like me as a potential partner. And
Yeah.
I think I somewhat understood that for like the entire time of our friendship, but at that time, I kind of finally that settled down, and uh, I understood that there's no chance. And
No
then I
chance of
felt
it even. Yeah.
stupid, and I felt a bit angry at her. Now I understand that. I mean, you can't blame her. You cannot make like if you don't
Yeah.
like someone, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Uh, but I kind of just straight out like stopped really talking to her. I didn't explain to her why, and at one point she was uh, sad and kind of like came to me to suddenly uh, hugged me, and like I felt like she liked that attention, and maybe she didn't realize how much she liked it. So when it was suddenly gone, she was
Mm.
really upset about it. Uh, but yeah, I understand you, Jamie.
But do
I
you
guess it's for me it was a sudden realization that there's uh nothing going to happen, and yeah, that's it.
did you feel
But
bad
would you
when
say that you made your affections clear?
Can you explain me what does that mean?
Like, does she know you like her more than just a friend?
Uh, Not sure. Back then, I wasn't really good um at this whole relationship thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I've heard from many people that it wasn't really clear if I'm very nice or if I'm gay or this is attempt of a relationship. So chances are that
Yeah.
no, she wasn't really sure. Maybe she suspected something, but that's different from being sure.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to like embarrass yourself by saying, "Hey, do you like me?" It's like, "What?"
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, if Dan was gay, he would be unstoppable. Like all the girls would flock to him. It's a big, a tall gay guy who is nice and who is just feels like a it's just Dan feels like a pillar of a person. You know, you feel safe next to him. And if these girls find out that he had actually been gay, oh my goodness, all the women would flock to him.
And all the guys would want to be his friend to get the inside scoop.
Exactly.
Hey, who does she like? Who does she like?
I feel like our school
Yeah.
didn't really give us that much time to date, though. I felt like our schedule was actually quite intense.
Mm, I don't
Um,
think so
No, I
in
mean,
my
in
I
the
went on
sense,
a couple of dates.
I mean, in the sense that, you know, after, well, let's say after a semester you've been dating, we then had to move on to our internships, which could be anywhere else in the world, right?
mm, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's only for half a year though.
that's a
Yeah.
lot.
But for teenagers, you know, for teens like ourselves, long distance for 6 months, that was a lot.
I think it's a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
I
It's
think it's not a big deal for me because I had one for like several years before that.
mhm.
So for me, I kind of feel like I know I'm fine.
Hmm. I don't know. I think we need to have an episode about long distance because I genuinely believe I cannot make it work. I don't know why. I've only had one experience of it, and I just feel like it's impossible for me.
Yeah, bro, your then partner was a bit of an asshole as well, though.
Oh well, it's all in the past.
Well, and I'm saying a bit, but that's an understatement. He was an asshole.
Oh well. In any case, I feel like long
We
distance.
tangent very hard away from the
Yeah.
topic of bullying,
Yeah, yeah. Let's
as we
let's
always do.
let's get back. So other than bullying at school,
Oh.
what about bullying at work? Because I was bullied at work.
Oh my god. I had this asshole who tried to play the soft power with me, the soft power game.
Mhm.
All right, you know soft power at work, right?
Oh, sorry.
You know
Uh,
what I'm talking about, right?
I guess I'm not quite sure to be honest.
All right. So basically, soft power is like you're on the same working level, but you have to, like, I don't know, you if you're older than somebody, or if like you make a little bit more money than somebody, then it gives you that feeling of superiority to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's soft power. It's like if you think of global politics, there's hard power, which is your military might, and then there's soft power, which is your influence.
Okay, got it, got it.
You got it? So this guy, I was starting my night shift job, right? I was doing my training with the other night shift guy. I shit you not. He came up to me, and I was wearing my military boots, right? And I know how I tie that shit. I double knot that shit, and then I put the wire in between the loop so that even if I step, if even if it somehow loosen up, it still catch on and it would never unloosen.
Mhm.
And that guy came up to me, had the audacity to look me in the eyes and say, "Hey, your shoelace is untied." I didn't even flinch, man. I looked him in the eyes and say, "No, it's not." And I kept that eye contact.
I'm sorry, this just sounds
Yeah,
like
no,
the
you gotta
weirdest
imagine
drama.
how ridiculously stupid and childish this situation is. And you're talking about two adults here
Okay.
at a job. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't want you to trip and fall, man. Your shoelaces are untied." And I just kept eye contact and I said, "No, it's not. It's tied. Thank you though." And then he was like, "Oh, okay," and walked away. And even when he walked away, I did not
Destroyed.
look down. I did not look down. I just looked to my colleague who was training me, and I was like, "What the fuck was that? I'm sorry about that. Can you continue?" And then he was like, "I don't know. That guy is a dick." And then throughout the night, and at no point did I look down. By the way, just so I want to make it clear, I was so sure. And at no point did I look down. And then throughout the night, he would just come by until his end of his shift and just ask me dumbass questions like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, 30. How old are you? Oh wait, no, I wasn't 30 then. Wait, how old was I back then? Um, 26. How old are you? And then he's like, "Oh, I'm 23. Oh, okay, cool." And then he would go away again, and he would come back and he'll ask me like, "How much money are you earning?" And I was like, "I know it's rude to ask, but like, I'll just say like, yeah, I'm earning like 4,800, and you?" And it's like, "Oh, just 3,600. Okay, okay, cool."
Maybe
Anyway,
maybe
back
this
to
whole
work.
time
And then
What
he'll
is
come
wrong
back
with him?
and he'll ask me like, "How much work experience do you have?" And then I'll be like, 10. And then he's like, "What's your highest position?" And I was like, "I was an import manager at a steel company, and at the same time, I was a project manager for a startup company. How about you?" And I was like, "Oh, just a cash register." And he would just continue to try to like one up me on something. And I'm like, "Bro, this is getting fucking stupid, man."
I just feel like
But
it's
yeah, that
That's
was a
really
guy.
weird.
No,
no.
he was trying. He had some kind of inferiority complex or something. I don't know. But like after he, because I was doing night shift and he was at the end of his shift, he left after a while, right?
Mhm.
And then after he left, then I looked down at my boots. I was like, I fucking knew it was not as tight.
No
And
way.
then I looked
You
to my
waited
colleague
until he
and
left.
asked him, "What?"
You waited until he left to check your boots.
Yeah, I waited until he left just to look at my boots because I'll be fucking stupid if it was untied. And I
This whole
said the whole
time.
time no. Right. So I just looked down just to confirm, but I didn't give him the satisfaction. I waited till he left. And then
Yeah.
I asked the colleague, my new colleague. It was my first night there, by the way. I looked at him and I was like, "What the fuck is that guy's problem?" And he was like, "I don't know. He's always like this. Like it's just the whole hotel was just a toxic place, like really bad place. Like it got things like they tried to screw me over. Like I had a gut feeling like somebody was gonna screw me over. So at one point, every night I took a picture or a video of everything I did. to save my own ass, you know.
Oh
At
wow.
first it's not so bad, but after you have months of doing that just to save your own ass, um, it gets so fucking annoying because it's not my job. I'm wasting time and effort for this shit, right? But
Mhm.
I'm so glad I did because they tried to fuck me
I'm
over
sorry.
three
I still
times.
find it funny that
Whoa.
since the moment he asks you, he tells you to tie your boots. I just imagine you maintain like fierce eye contact with him throughout the entire shift. It was only until he
I
left you.
Okay, not throughout the entire shift, but at that whole dumbass like tie your shoelace conversation, I just hard on eye contact. Like, no, it's not, man.
That's so
Like
weird.
I didn't show an inch of doubt. I was like full focus. I'm looking straight into your soul. I know what you're doing, boy. You ain't getting me.
I just my wicked brain is imagining like a very somber and sad music where this guy is autistic. He goes home and he writes into his diary that he actually found the person he loves. It's a man who has been a project manager slash a who has great experience and great income. A man who
No, no. Like that guy was just like a really toxic guy, and he just he wants to be promoted, so he's trying to make everybody else look bad.
Aw.
what was his
Yeah.
position? Like what was his title?
He was just a receptionist.
Then what promotion? What kind of promotion are you
He was
talking about?
trying to be like a manager or something.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, darling. Not in the hotel
Yeah, he got
industry.
fired.
Oh man.
That
Like
was the irony.
that's so sad. Did he maybe he asked one of the managers to see if they could tie their shoelaces? That's how he
Maybe,
got
I don't
fired.
know. But like but here's the reason why I quit that company, because that guy was shit talking. Like my I was doing like an external third party service company, right?
Mhm.
And the whole time he was shit talking this company. And after he got fired from the hotel, like for some reason my company wanted to hire him as a manager. And I was talking to the boss like, "Are you sure this is the right thing you to do?" Like, but they hired him, and then I realized the incompetence of my bosses, and I was like, I got no faith in this company. I'm gonna quit. And you know what's the worst part?
No.
Okay, maybe like I quit just before COVID hit Switzerland, and I
Mhm.
could have milked that company because they would have had to continue to pay me for a couple of months.
Mm,
Yeah, but I quit just before the COVID hit, so I feel like I lost out. You know.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well, who knew who could knew?
yeah, I know. But still, that happened.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was one example of a workplace bullying, I would say.
Well, I did have a manager who would make fun of me for being gay. So whenever my
What?
colleague, yeah, because so at our reception we have to stand up because we don't have a seat, and we remain
Yeah.
standing for the whole day. And so whenever somebody reaches down to grab like a document, it doesn't look good, right? It looks like the person bending over is precisely at my crotch height. And so he made fun of me and my colleague and saying that, oh hey guys, it's at work. Don't be don't do something like that. He would always make
Jesus
these kind
Christ.
of jokes, and it wasn't bothering me much. But the other guy is Muslim, and he really took offense to that, and
Oh no.
he was really mad at him. And one day, think one day he just trashed his car because all the employees would park
Oh.
our cars in a there's a facility where we put our where we park all of our cars. And then yeah, apparently he wanted to go after him. But
Dang.
the hotel I worked at had such a high turnover rate. I had so many different colleagues. I don't even like I didn't even manage to remember all of their names because they just went by so fast. I didn't have a lot of bullying from colleagues or even superiors, but I think I had bullying from the guests. Uh, and
Oh.
so
Entitled customers.
yeah, because we had rich Europeans coming over all the time. And
Oh, I remember this. You mentioned it on the first episode. This is when you were in America, right?
Yeah, yeah. They do the hand sign. They bow down, and then they say "terima kasih" to me because the whole hotel had a bunch of students who are on their internships, and they work in the F&B section, and so a lot of the
Mhm.
guests would pretend to be culturally sensitive. So then they would bow and they would put their hands together. Ah, terima kasih. And then I keep telling them that I'm not from Indonesia, but then they still kept doing that throughout the entire stay.
Would you consider that bullying?
I don't know. Like I told them. I said, "Oh, guys, it's fine. I'm from Taiwan actually." And then one guy just said, "Oh, arigato gozaimasu." I was so mad. I feel like that was intentional.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, there was a bully as well. He was a manager, and he would like. This was when I was working in Interlaken as a waiter.
Mm,
I think it was the first internship.
it
Like
was.
he would sexually abuse like one of the colleagues,
Oh, I remember
and
this.
like he was just verbally abusive as well. And this guy was from Zurich, piece of shit.
But was he?
Like he's one of the guys. Like this is no, I rather not say. I might be in legal trouble.
But was he bullying a female colleague or a male
No, he was
colleague?
just an asshole to everybody. But
Mm.
I guess you can say it's workplace harassment.
Was he a chef? Is that why?
No, he was a manager, and he would steal my tips as well, asshole.
Oh my
Oh my
god! Can
god.
you
I
can
heard
you
he got
imagine?
busted for doing drugs.
Oh, these people needed help, man. Who would
Jesus
have
Christ.
who would have thought?
Yeah.
Because like Interlaken is such a beautiful place. I can never imagine like, trash of the human race to exist in that area. Everything seems so idyllic and heavenly.
I don't know. Then you went in the restaurant once or twice, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember this bald manager guy?
Barely, to be honest. Um,
Well, he was the one I was talking about.
mm,
If you still remember from over 20 years ago.
oh my
Okay, not
god.
20, but like
Yeah, don't say that, man. Don't say
15.
that. You scared the shit out of
15,
me.
not 20. 15, 15. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's only 15. Oh man, time flies. But yeah, Dan, were you ever bullied at work?
I think I was a little bit, yeah. This place where I worked as a construction engineer had, well, actually, I was a price estimator. And there was this construction engineer that I kind of started the bullying myself. I mean, I didn't bully him, but in the very beginning when I started to work there, in the morning I was kind of greeting everyone, and this guy comes up, and I wanted to greet him, but his hands were full, so I kind of like shook my hand in the air. And I don't know why I found it funny, so I left a little bit. Uh, I wasn't laughing at him. For some reason, I just found the whole situation funny.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I feel like after that, he was pretty mean to me, and I think he was pretty mean to the whole price estimator section. I guess he didn't see us as a real construction engineers, because what we designed didn't really go into any real buildings.
Mhm.
And I guess that was an instance of somewhat bullying, because he wasn't really direct, but I could feel in the way
Like
he
passive aggressive.
talks. Yeah, he would. He would basically, even when I'm around and he's talking to someone, the way he would frame stuff, or the way he would talk, was, it felt like he wanted to make sure that
He's in
I
charge. He's
understand that
better than
he's
you.
not happy with me.
Yeah. For For some reason, I was expecting you to say like every time he sees you, he would shake his hand in the air.
Yeah, actually, that would make sense.
I feel like that
Yeah.
contributed nothing to him disliking you. I feel like he just didn't like you guys to begin with.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I feel like. But that whole interaction in the beginning, uh,
But when you were working in the hotel in America, there was no bullying, right? People were just
y- there was you can't say it's bullying, but I had a colleague. He was when I was working at the reception, he was a supervisor,
mm,
and uh, he was always so like a shift with him was always stressful. Uh,
Frustrating.
Stressful because I felt every time I felt like I guess I'm on an exam or something like that. Like for example, we had a rule that if the phone is ringing, we must answer it within the 3 rings.
Spring. Yeah.
And oh, there was this situation where I was at the desk. I was finishing something, and there was a couple approaching the desk. They were still somewhat far away, and the phone started to ring, and I was like, well, when my manager is not at the desk, he's like walking in the reception, like he's not by the desk, but I'm sitting at the desk. And so I heard the phone ringing. I was waiting a little bit to see maybe if the other reception, because we had the 2 receptions in 2 sections of the hotel, would pick up.
Mhm.
Nobody picked up, so I picked up the phone and had the conversation. And apparently, the way he describes me the situation was that this couple was going to me, and I was really rude because instead of like
You
talking
picked up
to
the
them,
phone
yeah, I
instead
picked
of
up the
talking to
phone.
them.
Yeah, but for me, it didn't look like that, and kept thinking, my God, there's a reason why there's not just one person at the reception. Can't you like,
Do your
help me?
job and talk to them.
Yeah, like you see the situation. The phone is ringing. I'm at the desk. You're standing. You're not at the desk. You're not going to pick up the phone. Might as well,
Talk to
do
the
the
people.
yeah. Talk to the people. Grab the initiative.
yeah,
Why
take the
wait for
initiative.
them to kind of approach me? And I don't know. I don't really fully buy it because for me they're pretty far away. But maybe I was so concentrated on seeing if somebody is going to pick up the phone or not that I didn't notice that they're already close.
That's
And
wow.
I don't know. It was like he would create stress where there was no need for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know those kind of people. We actually had a rule at our hotel where if somebody picks up the phone, like if you're already engaged with clients, like physically, if there are 2 clients at the front desk, we were not allowed to pick up. In fact, if we would have to pick up the phone and then immediately like forward it to the back office for our supervisor to pick up.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, me for us as well. But the problem was that our reception is kind of area that you pass through to get to the rooms and to the restaurant, and you can't really be sure that if they're just passing through or not. And
Mhm.
in any ways, there's 2 people for a reason at the reception.
Indeed, yeah.
So like I don't see anything bad if one of the employees is on the phone with another client and the other one is helping the client physically, right? It's not
Mhm.
like they approached and sat down at my desk and
And
Yeah.
waited for half an hour while you're just
and
ignoring
then I was
them.
like looking at them and looking them in the eyes and picking up the phone and
just a display of dominance, yeah.
yeah, like I don't want to talk with you.
Oh man.
Know your place, peasant.
One instance of me being bullied, but like not really. It wasn't an intentional bully. It was because I don't know how, but you guys get tips at the front desk?
A little bit. When I was a
Not
bellman,
really.
I got a lot of tips.
Because for us, I had to show our guests to their rooms. Like the full service goes that when they come in,
Hmm.
you make them a drink, you check them in, and then you have to bring them to the room. And on the way, you introduce the hotel facilities, right? Um,
Yeah,
and it would always take me about 20 minutes to finish one guest because it's a lot to cover, especially like
yeah.
with the beach facilities. There are a lot of rules that I have to tell them, and then whenever I finish a very long tour, I come back. Usually, I get tipped about $5 or at most $10. I would give the most in-depth guide, and still, it's $5, $10. And my colleague, who is a really sexy Latina, she would take a guest, and it would take her less than 10 minutes, to come back down. And she barely said anything to them. She just brought them to the rooms and then just got a bunch of tips. And it was Christmas, so at the end of the day, she came back down, and then she was asking me, "Oh, how much did you make in tips in total?" And I said on that day I made I think $80. And then she then sneezed, and I kid you not, right? As she sneezed, and money fell out of her, seemingly from her trousers. I don't know, from under her skirt. It just money
What?
just yeah, she sneezed and money fell out. And then
What?
I don't know where
You
she
should like have a pepper mill near you. Just make her keep sneezing so money
no,
keeps falling.
no, because we had that uniform at the hotel, and it's kind of like unisex. It's very long, it's very roby. It looks like a Chinese robe. And so she
Okay.
sneezed, and she somehow makes it look sexy as well. Like her breast always like half of her breast is showing. She sneezed, and a couple of $50 bills fell out, and she picked it up and she gave it to me. So she's like, "Oh, here, I made five
Oh,
hundred
sorry.
dollars."
Can you throw away this garbage?
Can you imagine? No, because I made $80 and she made 500.
What?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then so she sneezed, and I presume some money fell out of her vagina, and she just gave it to me.
What? Why do you presume that of all places? You could have said like she had some tucked away in her bra or something, but why the vagina? Like what? Of
Yeah.
all
No,
places.
because she was knelt down on the ground and then she sneezed. She was about to pick up some documents and it just fell to the ground. It seemed as though it fell from the trousers.
Oh, that's still a very what?
I mean, trousers have pockets, right?
That's true, but
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
felt
it's not like
so.
trousers have a slit in the middle of
Mhm.
them, so that she sneeze and then shoot out the $50.
In any case, I was so like I remember that day. I felt so stupid being a receptionist, and I felt like, oh wow, like in a place as sexist as America, it really benefits you to be a hot woman. And I felt really bad.
um, Back
Oh,
then, maybe it's different these days.
yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'm just happy we're not in that industry anymore. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is called hotel dropouts for a reason, right?
Oh man. So what's next for you guys? Anyone you want to bully? Anybody you feel
Well,
Do
not
you?
intentionally, but there's somebody I'm kind of bullying all the time.
okay, what about this? One last question. When's the last time you guys were mean to somebody online?
Wow.
Hmm.
If you play an online game and you shoot them in the head, would that be considered mean?
No, but that's part of gameplay though. The last time I was mean was when I was studying Marvel Rivals characters because I'm making a video about it. And I
Mhm.
made the mistake of playing a game, and then it just gets really toxic. And I think the worst thing I said was that no, I didn't even say anything worse. Like I just told them to DPS, you're trash, uninstall. Uh, and
Get a life, go touch grass. Your
yeah,
mom
that kind of
doesn't love
stuff.
you.
And that was it. Like at the moment, I felt like I really aged because they were coming back to me with all kinds of insults, and I couldn't, I couldn't say anything back. I couldn't retaliate. And then at that moment, I
Okay, give an
realized,
example of an insult they shot your way.
they said, "Can't you heal? You're a retard." And they said,
Whoa,
"Oh,
whoa! Can you use that word?
you can." Apparently, in the game as well, it's not censored.
But isn't Taiwan not a country? Isn't that censored?
Oh yeah, that is censored. That's funny. But yeah, and then they say things like, "Oh, even the cart heals you more than heals them more than I do," because if you stay on the objective, because you're supposed to escort like a cart to an objective,
Mhm.
and that cart gives you passive healing. And he was saying that my healing was less than that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to say. I just felt like, oh, that was the first time I felt like I've aged, that I'm far too old to be playing these video games because I cannot keep up with the young people with their insult games.
Well, to be fair, I don't like playing competitive online games anymore.
Yeah, it's
It's just
too much.
it's just not fun. It's too stressful.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
rather be stressed out against AI than stressed out against people.
that's true. I don't know, like gaming habits wise, I feel like nowadays I just want to play something to unwind.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about relaxing.
Like I rather play like something co-op.
Oh yeah,
The same.
it's been a
I have a
while.
question.
Yeah.
Did you have any instances where you were the one that helped to prevent bullying or something like that? I have a funny one.
Oh, go ahead.
So there was this guy in school that he was getting bullied because he's a bit weird, and you know how when you're bullied you become less confident in yourself. So I guess that didn't help his weirdness. I think it made him even more weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I never participated in the bullying, and I somewhat felt bad for him, but I also
Want to
didn't do
distance
it.
yourself because you don't want to
Yeah,
be seen as his friend, and then you become the next target.
yeah. I think that's a good analysis of
Yeah.
the deep, somewhere deep inside me, the thoughts I had. But one day I kind of stood up for him, and uh, and then he. I think he wanted to say thank you, but he did it in such a way that was actually just insulting to me. And
What?
and so I was like, I was just like I bullied him a little bit, like I like they were doing something to him, and I stood up and like said that they shouldn't do it and stuff like that. And then he's like trying to say a thank you to me, but instead he just basically kind of insulted me, and I was like, what the fuck? And I did the bullying myself a little bit, and I said, okay, whatever you do, whatever you want with him.
So basically, you said, if only I can bully this guy. This is my victim.
Yeah, you were kind of justified because you stood up for him, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh
in
man.
prison terms, you made him your bitch.
Do you guys feel like bullying is necessary?
No, definitely not. By the way, regarding, hold on, I'm gonna put you on pause right there because I
Mm.
got a story to share regarding defending somebody as well.
Mm.
Um, it was during a D&D game, and basically one of the players, I was the DM, and one of the guy players made like a sexist comment towards a girl player, and like you can hear from the voice. 'Cause we weren't using videos, but usually normally somebody speaks in a certain way,
Yeah.
but then when that way changes, you could tell like it's either for the worse or for the better, and this time it was for the worse.
Hmm.
And then I called the guy out on it, and I was like, hey man, that's not cool. Like, don't do that. Like, we don't appreciate that kind of joke here. And he got butthurt and left. And then I stopped the session there for that day. I spoke to her about it. She was thankful, but then she said like, "Nah, but I don't want to play in an environment like this." I was like, "All right, it's all
Oh,
good. Respect that." And then and then that person like left after that. Um, and then the game kind of fell apart at that point. But the guy who got butthurt was like, "I can't believe you called me out of everybody like that." Blah, 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 blah." I'm like, then don't be a dick next time, you know. I thought it was funny. I was
What
like, no, it's not.
specifically did he
You thought
say?
it was funny, huh?
What did he say?
Yeah, it was some kind of joke about like smelly vaginas or something like that, but it was
Okay.
directly targeted at her,
Hmm.
and it was like, hey man, that's not funny.
Was it pertinent to the role play at the time, or was it like
No, it was like very out of left field. Like it wasn't anything to do with what was going on.
you would think that these players would appreciate the presence of female players, that they would work extra hard not to weird them out, you know?
No, I think the problem is it's because they don't treat them like just any other human being, but like
Mm.
either put them on a pedestal and become like a white knight, milady, or just like, oh my
Mm.
god, a female, you know. and sadly, it's like that. You know, they're so unused to women
That is true. Oh
that
my god.
they either like put them
Mm.
on a pedestal or like press them really hard.
You know,
It's like,
yeah,
yeah.
I really felt that, like, especially for a lot of women in gaming, especially in competitive games. You know, 10 years ago, I was playing a lot of Overwatch. Oh, no, sorry, 9 years ago. Oh, it's been nearly a decade since Overwatch came out. But I used to double queue with a girl from Hong Kong, and we were
Hey,
just
you used to use a voice changer too.
oh, I did. Oh my god, yes. When I had my voice changer on, I was a very convincing lady, and I was playing Genji, and I shit you not, if I played
Suddenly
a
you get all the healing.
I got all the healing,
Yeah,
I got all the
all the loot.
tanking. If I do really well in a game, there was like this one game where I killed 5 people with my ultimate, and they were all like, "Oh, your Genji is a god." And then after that match, I get like all the I get six, sorry no, I think 8 friend invitations, mostly from my team, but also from the other team as well, because they were chatting. They're saying, "Oh, this girl ninja is really good." So that's the good part. But then the next game, if I did terribly, and then they hear that I'm a woman, they just trash on you for being a woman. They were just like, they would say, like, they're not even trying to be mean. You could just hear them in the voice chat. They were just saying, oh, implying that because it's a she, there's only so much
Oh, go
she
back to
can
the
do.
kitchen. You shouldn't be here.
That
That
kind
kind
of
of
stuff.
bullshit, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I felt really bad. I felt
Yeah.
like, wow, what the hell? But there's always somebody gooning for you if you're a lady. There's always somebody who would defend you in the team.
So it's a multiplayer.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a
If you don't
multiplier
do
for
well,
positive and negative. But
yeah.
hey, Jamie, for the people who are less like internet savvy and older generations who don't know the slang kids these days use, what
You're
is
talking about
gooning?
us?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what gooning is, then?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. So I guess we are talking about us.
gooning is just when you're thirsting after someone, usually a female.
Uh,
Yeah,
Is
and
it?
yeah, no, gooning. People, for example, are gooning after the new skins of a few characters in Marvel Rivals, and then they were praising that Eastern video game developers know how to make sexy female characters, as opposed to like Western developers tend to make female characters ugly. There's this
Oh, is it
whole
because of that whole Stellar Blade debacle
yeah,
thingy?
yeah, it's to do with Celeblade, but to an extent, it's to do with Marvel Rivals, because there was another Marvel game, right? There was another game done by I forgot who, maybe Ubisoft or Warner Brothers, but one is like a realistic Marvel universe, and the other one is
Mm-hmm.
obviously Marvel Rivals is more like the comics, right? So the anatomy
Mm-hmm.
is more exaggerated. But people are making
Mm-hmm.
fun, and then yeah, so gooning is that, and then kids nowadays also say glazing, to
What?
glazing. So if I'm glazing
See, the
you,
first thing that comes into my mind is
I know it's dirty,
something.
but glazing means to like speak in favor of, like, so even
What?
if So yeah, so let's
No
say
way.
yeah, so let's say if a game has come out and it's made some really bad updates, you know, it ruined the balance. It was some really terrible decisions from the developers. But there will be people that glaze them. Basically, they defend them, uh, just for the sake of defending them, right? So glazing.
Oh, right. So like uh Bethesda fans.
Yeah. So if you know, there are always MAGA people would always glaze over whatever Trump says. You know, for example. Oh my god, am I still young? I'm teaching you guys about all these terms. Do you guys know what gyat means?
Yeah, I know what Gat mean.
Mhm.
One of my family members has Gat as a family name.
No way, really?
Yeah, like not the way you spell it though.
Oh, well, I
But
mean,
yeah,
Benny's got gyat.
uh, I do. I've
Yeah,
been doing them squats when I was younger, you know?
I managed to paint that into the video thumbnail for the last one.
The one where
Yeah,
you drew me naked.
You
the
weren't
one where we're
naked.
wrestling.
Yeah, you guys were in
Naked.
traditional. You guys were in traditional Greek gym
We
attire.
were in our birthday suit.
Exactly, your
Yeah.
birthday suit. Wait, so we're supposed to talk
Oh,
about
so that's where it came from. The Greek men like wrestling young boys thing.
yeah. Wait,
Oh.
wait, what about bullying? We keep digressing.
I mean, technically, that's bullying too, right?
Mm.
Your internet bullying me,
So you guys never
drawing
bullied.
me in precarious poses.
No, come on. Were you guys so you guys never bullied on the internet?
No, I just don't feed the trolls. If you
Mm.
stay under the radar, you don't make yourself like public, like a target, then there's
Mm.
nothing to target at.
Hmm. I mean,
Yeah, I don't remember also being nearly bullied.
so there is this kind of like a far right sentiment on the internet. I don't even know if it's far right or if it's just like a really manosphere slash like a masculine out view where people feel like bullying should make a comeback because they really don't like these Twitter accounts with furry animals as you know as their account thumbnails, and you know they're usually the loudest voices on Twitter, right? They would say
Mhm.
they would make a lot of statements. They would be a lot more outspoken, and they're like this classic, you know, keyboard warrior type of thing where they are kind of awkward and shy in real life, but they are very loud
Mhm.
on online. Do you share that sentiment? Do you feel like we, to an extent, should keep the culture of bullying? I feel like, for one, I don't feel like it's ever gonna disappear. It's just something kids do anyway. It's not something you can avoid. I feel we're always
Yeah,
going
but
to, yeah.
wouldn't that make the problem worse? Don't you think? Like, wouldn't you, in order to wrestle back a sense of control
Mm,
in your life, if you're bullied in real life, then wouldn't it make it a lot worse while you're online? Because then you have this feeling of anonymity, so you have this shield, right?
yeah.
So if you were bullied in real life, wouldn't that make you then a louder and more obnoxious person on the internet?
Precisely, yeah. So there is that one argument that believes that because of the bullying, these people feel the need to compensate by being louder online. And then another school of thought is to say that, oh, these people need to be bullied when they're young. So then, as they grow up, they self regulate, they change their behaviors, and then eventually they integrate. Then they get accepted. But there's this whole journey. I feel like.
No, that's that kind of like that tough love approach
Mhm.
ideology, which is not. I mean, um, I needed to learn it the hard way as well,
Mm.
but that's not the most efficient or the best approach to things.
What do you think, Dan?
I'm not really sure about this one. To be honest,
How about we bully
I
you into having an answer? You little shit.
Yeah,
I
Dan,
think
you're being
I,
indecisive, Dan. What the hell? That's worse than not having any opinion.
You are the
I, th- I
problem.
I think I kind of understand them on an emotional level, and I
Mm,
think they maybe allow their emotions to make them come up with ideas of how like they should organize life.
mm,
Um sometimes you feel like sometimes when something happens, you have a reaction, and that reaction feels intuitive, but when people do actual studies about it, they understand that actually that's a bad way to deal with whatever is going on, and
Hmm.
a lot of the times the solution is unintuitive. For example, uh, prisons. When
mm,
you create a prison that is meant to make the prisoner feel bad and punish him, it feels intuitive, but in reality, in the end, this guy, when
You're
he comes
reinforcing the
out,
problem.
he will become a criminal again,
Yeah,
and it's just like no point in it. So
yeah,
you should
you're
be actually
reinforcing bad
try
habits and the
to
problem.
yeah, you should actually kind of basically behave with him like a child, and
mm.
nurture him and make him understand that life is not about this. You can live a good life and be a productive part of the society, and then when he comes out, there's a much higher chance that he will follow this path. uh, and so I think this is the same situation. On a certain level, I can understand why they think like that, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that's probably not the way to go.
Yeah,
Agreed,
which is
agreed.
what I was saying. Like this tough love ideology.
Hmm.
You think you're doing them a favor by like shocking them, waking them up, or whatever, but it's really not. You're just adding to the problem.
Indeed. Right, well, we're running low on time, so why don't I finish this episode with a heartfelt story about the two of you, and how you helped me kind of overcome a scar that I had from being bullied in a way.
Oh, we
So
did. Thank.
Wow.
so I was in high school, and there was this guy that he was my first crush, somebody that I fell in love with for the first time.
Hmm.
He was my friend for a while, but I think he knew that I liked him, so he took advantage of that, and so he would mess with me, like he would at times kind of like tease me almost. He would
Man,
pin me against the wall, and it was like nighttime study. He would get
what?
really close. Yeah, it was as if like he would get really close, like he was about to kiss me, and he would gently slap me on the face and then walk away. And so, and
What the fuck?
it was more than that. So we were friends and then not really friends, and then it was a very weird relationship we had because I was a loner and he was always with a bunch of cool kids. And I think we
Mm,
connected because we were both kind of alone in the sense that we didn't feel that kinship with other people. And he knew that.
hmm.
And so, we were friends up until when I left for university. I went to university and met you guys. And he actually came to the same school, but he was 1 year later than I did. Right. So it was in
Hmm.
second year when I noticed that he was in at school, when I noticed that he joined us, and then I was feeling so I don't know why, but I had so many nightmares about this guy at that time because it was very weird to confront the feeling of loving someone, but then being toyed by them, being kind of like tortured by
Yeah.
them. 'Cause he would do
Mm.
things like, he would get really close and then it would be as if he understood you, like he's your friend, but then he would make fun
No,
of you like in front of his other friends. And then he would
that's not cool.
yeah, and then he would get really touchy and then do like kind of weird stuff. Like it's you don't know what he was thinking. Um
Yeah.
and so it was always kind of a torture, and I left my country because I didn't like that dynamic as well. In addition to my family being a mess, I wanted to leave my country, and then I met you guys, right? And I felt like for the first time that I had met a bunch of really decent people that are good friends. You and the Brazilian girl, uh, the Romanian girl. Like there were so many. My friend group. Like all these people are very
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was, like old memories came back and I was very kind of disturbed. And then so I went with you guys to McDonald's. I don't know why, but we were arguing something about Dan was trying to sell me the idea of going to the gym. I don't know why. We were talking about going to the gym. And then we stood in line waiting for McDonald's. And then I saw this friend of mine, the guy that tortured me, and he was at the McDonald's as well, but he was with his other friend group, like with the Chinese kids. And then I remember him like he looked at me and I looked at him, and then I just from his eyes I could tell that he was kind of surprised, that he was just like,
Mhm.
wow, like maybe he felt like I would never have what it takes to make good friends and not be alone kind of thing. And that
Mhm.
in that moment, like to you guys were still talking shit, doing stuff. You guys didn't know, but at that moment, I felt so lucky that I was your friends, and I felt so loved and blessed
Aw.
that I had the two of you there next to me, and like that was proof to myself that hey, I am not the old self. I wasn't the awkward gay kid anymore. I would become the confident, sociable, person that is Jamie, right? And yeah, so that it was I think at that time like I cried a little, but you guys didn't see. But I was there standing with you guys, and that was the one of the happiest moments of my life.
Whoa, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
intense, right?
I didn't
happy
know
I
too,
could be
but
a
I'm
part of it.
glad. Yeah.
It was so intense. But yeah, that's uh I guess that's why you shouldn't bully people, right? Okay, it really messes them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, what that guy was doing was emotional manipulation, bro.
Yeah, it's not the conventional kind of bullying to make you feel bad. Like he knew I liked him and he was toying with me.
Yeah, that's emotional manipulation, my friend.
But
Not
yeah,
cool.
shall we end the episode?
Yeah, so don't
Yeah.
bully, okay? Okay, it's bullying's bad, okay?
Drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to go for.
All right, leave us with a like and subscribe if you will. But other than that, goodbye.
If you
Thank you,
want, throw us
everyone.
a shekel. If not, you're a bully.
Yeah,
Uh,
join our Patreon for
thanks for
us to bully
listening.
you.
Yeah.
Nah. All right, goodbye, guys.
Ciao.
Goodbye.